Hello, Conquerors. Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend of running. As you know, we survived our first potential hurricane threat, hoping it's the last one. It was just some rain and some wind, not really bad. Very grateful for that. So tonight I'm going to talk about having an off season. And that's not something I've really talked about before. I may have mentioned taking time off running, but I'm talking about being very specific and deliberate about scheduling an off season. As we head into fall and then into winter, running can become more difficult, and it can become more difficult for many reasons. Nights are longer, so that means getting our runs in during daylight becomes more difficult. So we're either having to run in the dark with headlamps, which brings up a lot of safety issues for people, or we're having to run at different times of the day and trying to schedule that stuff in. It's colder, makes it harder to get out the door. Once we start running, the cold feels great, but getting out the door in those very cold days, putting on that winter gear, just simply getting out of bed when it's still dark and cold becomes difficult during those winter months. And I want to recommend to you to consider possibly having an off season. Now, I will tell you, I do not want to have an off season. The times that I have taken off running have not been by choice. It's either been due to illness or because of my knee when it was first diagnosed, figuring out how to deal with that. But I want to run all the time. Now, should I do an off season? That's a whole nother discussion that we won't have. But I want you to consider, and here's why I want you to consider it. Sometimes we find ourselves when we're running year after year after year, it just becomes difficult, and we do find it harder when we get to this time of year to really get out the door. And so we start beating ourselves up with I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And in reality, it's okay to step away. You know, there's a lot going on in our lives during these months. You know, you have holidays, work stress, end of the year, getting projects done, those kinds of things. And also the things I mentioned before, that you're having to run in the dark and it's colder, and maybe you just need a reset. And so declaring an off season allows you to have that reset. There's some important things you need to know about declaring an off season, and they are these. First of all, you need to be specific. What that means is you need to pick a date that off season starts, and you need to pick a date that off season ends, and you need to have some sort of accountability in place that you will go for a run on the day that it ends. So maybe tell one of your friends, have them come with you. Create a situation where you will get back to it. Otherwise, it can be really easy to let a whole year pass and you haven't run. You need to use that time efficiently in terms of your running. And what I mean by that is you need to look at, what are my goals for the upcoming season? What is it that I want to do in running? Why am I still running? How can I run better? What are some things that I can do to make my running more efficient? Really look at your running. Take this time when you're not doing it to examine how to do it better or to create new goals surrounding your running. Thirdly, this is not the time to just say goodbye to your fitness completely. You do need to move, but you can use this as an opportunity to try something new. Maybe start riding a bike, join a local gym, take group exercise classes. I've taught group exercise classes. You can only imagine what that was like. They were so much fun, and you build a real community at those classes, and you get a whole different kind of fitness at them. And it can be really beneficial to your running and just beneficial to your overall health. And during the colder months, they're inside, so if you feel comfortable being inside, it's a great way to keep your fitness up. You will lose fitness if you take time off, but that doesn't always necessarily have to be a bad thing. And I mean lose fitness in terms of running. 1 to 2 weeks off of running, you're not going to see a huge difference. And actually, sometimes when you take 1 to 2 weeks off running, you'll actually see that you needed that rest and it serves you better. But once we get into 3, 4, 5, etc., so on and so on, you will find that you will lose running fitness. And when you get back to it, you won't be where you left. But that can be okay because it really offers you a fresh start. I'm coming to this. I know I'm at a different fitness level, and maybe it gives you an opportunity to build yourself more efficiently, to plan your runs better, to work on your speed work or increase your strength as a runner, and plan how you're going to run so that you can feel efficient and good and build up to something. When you return, you should have a goal, whether it be to sign up for a race, to run a certain distance, to start increasing your run, walk, more running than walking. Whatever it is, you should have a goal attached to it when you return so that you have something to get excited about. There's nothing to fear walking away from running just because I said I don't want to do it. I have an unhealthy attachment to running. I just love it so. But it can be a really good thing. I just want to make sure that if you decide to do that you are specific about what you're doing, about the dates that you're doing, and make plans to continue to make your health a priority during that period. Don't just sit. That could be the worst thing that you do for your health. No, find something new and exciting to do, or get back to something that you used to do before you started running that you haven't had the opportunity to do. You might find this to be a great way to hit the reset button on running and come back to it with fresh eyes. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or issues, please contact me. I miss you guys. I hope your running is going well. I know a lot of you are training for the Berkeley Half Marathon or 10K, and that we're getting closer and closer to that. So keep training hard and keep being awesome, and take care.